After finding cruise tickets hidden in my parents' kitchen drawer, I realized the $2,800 emergency I gave them for Dad's medical bills was actually funding a family vacation that everyone was invited to except me. If you are watching this, kindly subscribe and let me know where you are watching from. And I hope that you're safe wherever you are. The manila envelope slides from behind the sugar canister like a secret desperate to escape. My fingers tremble as I unfold the cruise documents. Royal Caribbean, 7 days to Alaska. 4 passengers listed. Mom, Dad, my sister Emma, and my brother Jake. My name appears nowhere. The departure date makes my stomach drop. Last week, while I was working double shifts to recover from giving them my entire savings account, while I believed Dad was struggling with medical bills that insurance wouldn't cover. Honey, what are you doing in there? Mom's voice drifts from the living room where she's showing me photos from their quiet weekend getaway. I walk into the living room holding the evidence. Mom's face drains of color faster than spilled wine absorbing into white carpet. Dad fumbles with his coffee mug, nearly dropping it. We can explain, Dad starts, but his voice cracks like a teenager caught lying. The photos spread across their coffee table tell a different story now. Emma parasailing against Alaskan mountains. Jake laughing on a dinner cruise. My parents standing on deck chairs with glacier backdrops. 7 days of family memories that cost exactly what I'd given them for his emergency. You told me Dad needed surgery, I whisper, my voice barely audible over the grandfather clock's ticking. You said insurance denied the claim. Mom reaches for my hand, but I pull away. Rain, sweetheart, we didn't think you'd want to come anyway. You're always so busy with work. The excuse hits like a physical slap. Always so busy. The same words they've used for years to explain my absence from family gatherings I was never actually invited to. I set the cruise documents on their antique coffee table, right next to their smiling vacation photos. I canceled my weekend at Lake Tahoe to give you that money. Dad clears his throat. We know and we appreciate. Stop, the word comes out sharper than I intended. Just stop lying. The grandfather clock chimes 7 times. 7 chimes for 7 days they spent laughing together, while I ate ramen noodles trying to rebuild my savings account. 7 chimes for 7 days of family bonding I funded, but wasn't invited to experience. I grab my purse from their entry table, my movements deliberately calm, no yelling, no slamming doors, no dramatic exits, that they can later describe as overreactions to extended family members. Rain, please don't leave like this. Mom calls as I reach their front door. For the first time in my 26 years I don't turn around when she calls my name. But as I drive away, one question burns in my mind like acid. How many other family revenge stories start exactly like this? Back in my apartment, I dump every photo album and memory box onto my living room carpet. 26 years of family documentation spreads before me like evidence at a crime scene. The patterns I'd somehow missed my entire life suddenly glow like neon signs. Christmas 2019. Emma opening a brand new laptop worth at least $1,200. Jake unwrapping designer headphones. Me holding up a $20 gift card to Target with the price sticker still attached. My smile looks genuine in the photo. I remember being grateful. Thanksgiving 2020, the whole family gathered around Grandma's table, except me. I was working that weekend according to the family text chain I wasn't included in until after the fact. Spring break 2021. Beach house rental in Myrtle Beach. Emma posted 43 photos on Instagram. Not one person mentioned that I wasn't there until cousin Lisa asked in the comments where I was. Mom replied, Rain's busy with her career. She understands. The financial records paint an even darker picture. I open my laptop and scroll through years of bank transfers. $300 here for Dad's prescription costs. $800 there for Mom's car repairs. $1,500 for Jake's college books. Another $1,000 for Emma's apartment deposit. I calculate the total $23,847 over 5 years. $23,000 of my money funding a family that systematically excluded me from their memories. My phone buzzes. Text from Emma. Mom told me about your little tantrum. Very mature, Rain. Little tantrum. As if discovering years of deception and financial manipulation constitutes immature behavior. I delete the message without responding. Another buzz. Jake, this time seriously, you're going to ruin family dinner over a vacation. We thought you wouldn't want to come anyway. You never seem happy at family stuff. I stare at his message, memories flooding back. 5th birthday party. I wanted a princess theme like Emma got the year before. Mom said theme parties were wasteful. Emma got a mermaid party 6 months later. Middle school graduation. They forgot to attend. Jake's graduation the following year included a dinner party for 20 people. High school prom. I saved babysitting money for months to buy my dress. Emma's prom dress cost more than my car payment. Paid for without question. College graduation. They attended the ceremony but left immediately after for Jake's baseball tournament 2 hours away. Emma's graduation celebration lasted an entire weekend. How long had this been going on? How many years had I convinced myself that their treatment was normal, that I was lucky to have a family that let me be independent? My laptop chimes with an email from Mom. Please call me. This is all a misunderstanding. We love you and want to make this right. Misunderstanding. As if 26 years of unequal treatment could be misunderstood rather than deliberate. I close my laptop and walk to my bedroom window. The city lights twinkle below, each one representing someone else's life, someone else's family. I wonder how many other people are staring out windows tonight, realizing their family drama stories include them as the unwitting victim, rather than the beloved daughter they thought they were. My phone starts ringing. Mom's name flashes across the screen. I don't answer. But I also don't turn it off. Because something tells me this is just the beginning. The calls start at 6:30 the next morning. Mom, Dad, Emma, Jake. Then the extended family cavalry arrives like reinforcements in some twisted war I didn't know I was fighting. Aunt Carol, your mother is beside herself with worry. You can't just disappear because of a simple misunderstanding. Uncle Richard, family disagreements happen. Rainy. But you don't abandon your parents over a vacation. Cousin Beth. Everyone's talking about how you're tearing the family apart. Is that really who you want to be? Each voicemail follows the same script. I'm overreacting. I'm being dramatic. I'm hurting Mom and Dad. I'm destroying family unity. Not one person asks why I wasn't invited on a cruise I partially funded. By Wednesday they escalate to ambush tactics. Emma shows up at my office during lunch, tears streaming down her perfectly made-up face. My coworkers stare as she creates a scene in our lobby, her voice carrying across the open floor plan. Please talk to Mom. She sobs, loud enough for half the building to hear. She hasn't slept since Sunday. Dad's blood pressure is through the roof. You're killing them with this silent treatment. I lead her to an empty conference room, closing the door against curious stares. The cruise was planned for 6 months, she continues, dabbing at mascara that never actually smudges. We didn't think you'd want to come. You always complain about family trips. When have I ever complained about family trips? I ask quietly. She blinks rapidly, clearly unprepared for actual questions. You know, you're always working or tired or busy. Because I work 3 freelance jobs to afford helping this family financially, I say, my voice still calm. When exactly was I supposed to develop leisure preferences? Emma's tears dry up instantly. You're being impossible. This is exactly why we don't include you sometimes. You make everything complicated. Sometimes. The word hangs in the air like a confession. How often is sometimes, Emma? She stands abruptly, chair scraping against floor tiles. I'm not doing this with you. Call Mom or don't. But stop punishing all of us because your feelings got hurt. Thursday brings Jake to my apartment complex. He's waiting by my car when I get home from work, arms crossed, jaw set in the same stubborn expression he's worn since childhood. This needs to stop, he announces before I can speak. Mom's talking about therapy now because of your drama. Do you have any idea how expensive that is? She should try therapy, I say, fishing for my keys. It might help her understand why systematically excluding one child while taking their money is problematic. We never excluded you. His voice rises with practiced indignation. You exclude yourself. You're antisocial and weird, and you always have been. The words hit exactly where he intended. Every family gathering where I sat quietly in corners, labeled shy rather than ignored. Every conversation that stopped when I entered rooms, then resumed when I left. Every inside joke shared in front of me that I wasn't part of creating. You're probably right, I say, surprising him with agreement. I am antisocial and weird, which makes it interesting that you keep taking money from someone you find so unpleasant. Jake's face reddens. That's different. You offered to help. I offered to help family. I didn't realize I was just a bank account with legs. God, you're dramatic. He throws his hands up in exasperation. Fine. How much money do you want to make this go away? Mom said to ask what it would take. The offer stops me cold. not an apology, not acknowledgement of wrongdoing. A price quote for my silence. I don't want money, Jake. Then what? The question reveals everything. He genuinely cannot imagine what else I might want. Recognition, inclusion, equal treatment, basic respect. These concepts exist outside his understanding of our family dynamics. I want you to leave, I say, walking toward my building entrance. You can't avoid us forever, he calls after me. But as I climb the stairs to my apartment, I realize I'm not avoiding them. I'm protecting myself. Friday morning, I call my cell phone company and request a number change. The representative asks if I'm experiencing harassment. Family, I say simply. Say no more, she replies with understanding that makes me want to cry. New number will be active within 2 hours. At the bank, I close the savings account. Mom and Dad have had access to since college. The transaction history shows 17 withdrawals in 8 months, none made by me. The teller doesn't ask questions, just processes my request with professional discretion. I open a new account at a different bank entirely. Walking back to my car, I feel something I haven't experienced in years. Privacy. No one can call me, no one can access my money, no one can track my financial decisions, or create emergencies that drain my resources. The silence should feel lonely. Instead, it feels like freedom. That evening, I create an email filter that automatically responds to messages from family addresses. Thank you for your email. I am currently unavailable to respond. This message was sent automatically. Then I do something I've wanted to do for 3 years. I book a weekend at that Lake Tahoe resort I canceled to help Dad with his medical emergency. The confirmation email arrives instantly. 2 nights, mountain view room, spa package included. The same trip they knew I'd sacrificed to fund their cruise. My laptop screen glows with travel websites and booking confirmations. For the first time in my adult life, I'm spending money on myself without calculating how it might impact my family's financial emergencies. Saturday morning brings a knock at my door. Through the peephole, I see Dad holding a paper bag, shifting nervously from foot to foot. I don't answer. He knocks again, waits, knocks a third time. Finally, he leaves the bag by my door and walks away. Inside, I find homemade cookies and a card with Mom's handwriting. We miss you. Please call us. We can work this out. The cookies taste exactly like childhood, like Christmas mornings and birthday celebrations, like all the moments when I felt truly included in this family. I eat 2 before throwing the rest away. Why had I waited so long to protect myself? Why had I spent 26 years accepting scraps of attention while funding their abundance? Sunday brings an unexpected text from my neighbor. Mrs. Kim, haven't seen your parents' cars lately. Everything okay? I realize they've been visiting regularly for months, probably stopping by whenever they needed money. Mrs. Kim noticed their absence before I fully appreciated their constant presence. Everything's fine, I text back. Just some family changes. That night, I sit on my balcony with a glass of wine, watching the city settle into evening rhythms. My phone stays silent. My bank account remains untouched. My weekend plans belong entirely to me. The peace feels revolutionary, but part of me knows this quiet won't last. Families like mine don't accept rejection gracefully. They'll escalate until I either surrender or completely cut them off. I'm no longer sure which option scares me more. The calls start coming from numbers I don't recognize. Friends of friends, distant relatives, family acquaintances, all somehow recruited into their campaign to bring rain home. Monday. Hi honey, this is your mom's coworker, Patricia. She's so worried about you. Could you just send a quick text letting her know you're safe? Tuesday. Rain. It's Pastor Williams from your parents' church. They're requesting prayers for family healing. Perhaps we could meet for coffee. Wednesday. This is Dr. Martinez from your father's medical practice. Your parents mentioned you might be having some emotional difficulties. I'd be happy to recommend someone. Each message follows the same pattern: concern for my mental state, requests for contact, subtle implications that I'm having a breakdown rather than a breakthrough. Thursday's voicemail comes from someone claiming to be a family friend. Your sister mentioned you might be struggling financially. We have resources that could help, if you're too proud to ask family. The irony is stunning. After years of them struggling financially with my money, they're now telling people I'm the one with money problems. My former cell number starts receiving calls too. Emma somehow convinced my phone company to give her information, claiming a family emergency. The customer service representative calls to verify, and I explain the situation. We can flag your account for extra security, she offers. Sometimes family members can be persistent. Friday brings the nuclear option. They involve the children. An unknown number calls, and I answer out of curiosity. Aunt Rain, my 7-year-old nephew Tyler's voice breaks through the phone. Mommy says you don't want to see us anymore. My heart shatters. Tyler, who I've babysat countless weekends. Tyler, whose birthday parties I've never missed. Tyler, who still draws me pictures that I keep on my refrigerator. That's not true, buddy. I manage, my voice thick. Then why won't you come to dinner? Grandma made your favorite cookies. Emma's voice takes over in the background, coaching him. Tell her we miss her. Tell her Grandpa's sad. I end the call before he can repeat her words. This is a new low, even for them. Using a child as emotional manipulation crosses every boundary I thought they respected. The weekend brings escalation I didn't expect. Saturday morning, I find Mom sitting on my apartment building's front steps, holding a casserole dish and wearing the martyred expression she reserves for maximum guilt impact. I've been here since sunrise, she announces when she sees me. I'm not leaving until we talk. Mom, you can't camp outside my building, then invite me inside. She stands slowly, dramatically, as if her joints ache from the ordeal of waiting. I brought your favorite tuna casserole. I haven't eaten tuna casserole in 5 years. I became vegetarian during college, a fact I've mentioned repeatedly at family dinners, where they still serve me meat-based dishes while accommodating Emma's gluten sensitivity without question. I don't eat tuna anymore. Her face crumples with practiced devastation. See, I don't even know my own daughter anymore. You've changed so much since you started that job. That job, my career in graphic design that I love, that pays well, that gave me independence, they've systematically undermined by creating financial emergencies only I could solve. I'm going upstairs now, I say firmly, then I'll wait here until you come back down. She's serious. Mom will sit on these steps all day, creating a scene, gathering sympathy from neighbors, building a narrative about her daughter's inexplicable cruelty. If you're still here when I come back, I'm calling the police. Her eyes widen with shock. I've never threatened them with outside intervention before. I've always handled family drama privately, internally, quietly. You wouldn't call police on your own mother. Try me. When I return from grocery shopping 2 hours later, she's gone. But the casserole dish remains on the steps with a note. I love you more than you'll ever know. Please don't throw our family away over a misunderstanding. Misunderstanding. Still. That evening, Jake calls from yet another new number. Mom's crying herself to sleep every night, he says, without preamble. Dad's blood pressure medication isn't working because of the stress you're causing. Emma's kids keep asking why Aunt Rain doesn't love them anymore. I never said I don't love them. Then act like it. Come home. Apologize for overreacting. Let's move past this. The word choice reveals everything. I should apologize. I should come home. I should move past their deception and exclusion and manipulation. What should you apologize for, Jake? Silence. Then we're not the ones being unreasonable. Answer the question. What should you personally apologize for? More silence. I didn't do anything wrong, he finally says. And there it is. The core of every family revenge story. They can't acknowledge wrongdoing because that would require admitting they've been cruel. Then we have nothing to discuss. But as I hang up, I know they're not finished. Would you accept being treated like a bank account by people who claim to love you? Because I'm about to find out how far they'll go to keep their personal ATM. The knock comes at 9 o'clock Sunday night, soft, persistent, followed by Mom's voice. Rain, sweetheart, please. I need to talk to you. It's an emergency. Through the peephole, I see her clutching a tissue. Mascara smudged, hair disheveled in a way that's calculated rather than authentic. Mom never appears in public without perfect makeup. Against my better judgment, I open the door but keep the chain lock engaged. What's the emergency? We're going to lose the house. The words tumble out between manufactured sobs. The second mortgage payment is due tomorrow, and we don't have it. Your father's medical bills this month were higher than expected. Medical bills, the same excuse they used to get cruise money. How much? $3,200. Just this once. We'll pay you back next month when Dad's insurance reimburses us. I study her face through the narrow door opening. The tears look real now, but desperation can manufacture genuine emotion. If I were standing here, I say quietly, broke, jobless, desperate, about to lose my apartment, would you take me in? The question hangs between us like a bridge neither of us wants to cross. Mom's mouth opens, closes, opens again. No sound emerges. Her silence answers more honestly than words could. I close the door gently but firmly. Behind it, I hear her calling my name, promising things will change, begging for one more chance. Her voice grows fainter as I walk deeper into my apartment, but her desperation follows me like smoke. 3 days later, my phone rings with an unknown number. Melissa, my coworker, sounds panicked. Rain, your sister called the office. She told Janet you're having a mental health crisis and asked if we'd noticed any concerning behavior. Janet wants to meet with you tomorrow. Emma contacted my boss. Crossed the line from family manipulation into professional sabotage. What did you tell her? That you're the most stable person I know. But Rain, they're really trying to damage your reputation. Is there something going on I should know about? I explain the cruise situation briefly. Melissa listens without interrupting. They sound like narcissists, she says finally. My ex-husband's family pulled similar stunts. Have you considered going completely no contact? I keep thinking they might change. They won't. Trust me, people like this don't change. They just get better at manipulation. That evening, Emma texts from a new number. Dad's in the hospital, heart palpitations. Doctor says it's stress-related. Hope you're happy. I call the hospital directly. Dad was treated and released for mild anxiety symptoms. Not life-threatening, not stress-induced heart problems. Anxiety. They're using Dad's health as emotional warfare. Friday brings the ambush I should have expected. We need to meet. Emma's text reads. All of us. Saturday night, Romano's restaurant, 7 o'clock. Come alone or don't come at all. But this ends now. Romano's. The Italian place where we celebrated every family milestone. My graduation dinner, Emma's engagement announcement, Jake's promotion party. The location choice is deliberate manipulation designed to leverage positive memories against current boundaries. I text back, I'll be there, but I won't be coming alone. Saturday evening, I walk into Romano's with Melissa beside me. Emma's face hardens when she sees my backup, but she can't object without admitting they plan to gang up on me. The booth they chose sits in the back corner, away from other diners, private, isolated, perfect for the kind of confrontation they're planning. Mom, Dad, Emma and Jake all sit on one side of the circular booth, presenting a united front. I slide in across from them, Melissa beside me. We need to resolve this misunderstanding. Dad begins, his voice carrying authority he hasn't earned. Misunderstanding. Still, there's no misunderstanding, I say, pulling a manila folder from my purse. But there are some things you need to see. I place a spreadsheet on the table. This documents every financial contribution I've made to this family over the past 5 years. The total is $23,847. Mom's face pales. Dad fidgets with his napkin. Here's a timeline of family gatherings, vacations and celebrations over the same period. I lay down a second document. Highlighted dates show events I wasn't invited to or was told were canceled due to financial constraints. Yellow highlighter covers most of the page. And this, I continue, placing a photograph on the table, is the jewelry making kit I begged for when I was 8 years old. The one that was too expensive at $35. I bought it myself last year. It's still unopened. The restaurant around us grows quieter, as if other diners sense the tension radiating from our corner. Emma recovers first, her voice sharp with practiced victimhood. So you're going to punish us forever because you didn't get a toy 20 years ago. I'm protecting myself from people who see me as a resource rather than a family member. Dad slams his hand on the table, making silverware jump. After everything we've done for you, this is how you repay us. The outburst draws stares from nearby tables. I remain calm. Name 3 things you've done for me that you didn't do for Emma or Jake. Silence. Complete, devastating silence. The question should have easy answers, but they sit there, mouths opening and closing like fish, unable to articulate a single instance of equal treatment. Mom's makeup starts running as reality crashes over her. Not the controlled tears she uses for manipulation, but genuine distress as she confronts what they've done. Emma looks between her parents, seeing their failure to answer what should be a simple question. Jake slumps against the booth, fight draining from him. I don't hate any of you, I say, gathering my documents, but I can't pretend anymore that this is normal family behavior. I place one final sheet of paper on the table. These are my terms for any future relationship. They lean forward to read: family therapy, 6 months minimum, complete financial independence, public acknowledgement and genuine apology, and time, space to heal without guilt, manipulation, or false emergencies. Mom reaches for my hand, but I don't extend mine to meet hers. You can't just make demands. Dad protests weakly. I'm not making demands. I'm setting boundaries. As Melissa and I stand to leave, Emma calls my name once but doesn't follow. Outside in the parking lot, Melissa squeezes my shoulder. How do you feel? I take a deep breath, surprised to find I'm not shaking. Free. For the first time in 26 years, I've chosen myself. But as we drive away, I wonder if they'll choose growth, or if they'll choose to lose me forever. The response comes 3 weeks later. Not a phone call or dramatic gesture, but a simple email from Mom's address with family therapy in the subject line. Sandra Martinez has openings Thursday evenings. We've scheduled 6 sessions. Emma will join us. Jake is still thinking about it. Please let us know if these times work for you. No manipulation, no guilt, no demands, just information and a request. Progress. The first session is awkward, painful, necessary. Dr. Martinez guides us through basic communication exercises, while Mom cries, Dad fidgets, and Emma stares at her hands. Rain has described feeling excluded from family activities while being expected to provide financial support. Dr. Martinez says during week 2, can anyone acknowledge how that might feel hurtful? Silence. It wasn't intentional, Mom finally whispers. Intent doesn't negate impact, Dr. Martinez replies gently. Unintentional harm is still harm. By session 3, something shifts. Dad admits he always found me too independent and assumed I preferred being alone. Emma confesses she resented how easy everything seemed for me, not realizing I worked 3 jobs to afford helping them. I thought you didn't need us, Mom says during session 4, her voice breaking. You were so capable, so successful. Emma and Jake seemed more fragile, so you gave them more support. Yes, and expected more support from me. Silence. Then yes. Session 5 brings Jake finally. He sits rigidly beside Dad, arms crossed, jaw set. Rain always acts like she's better than us, he announces before Dr. Martinez can begin. This whole therapy thing proves it. Jake, Dr. Martinez says calmly, what would it mean about you if Rain wasn't better than you? If she was just different? The question hangs in the air like a revelation. I don't know. By session 6, we're having actual conversations. Not perfect ones, but honest exchanges where people listen instead of just waiting for their turn to defend themselves. I want to try, Mom says as the session ends. I want to learn how to include you instead of just expecting you to understand. Dad nods slowly. Emma wipes her eyes. Jake remains skeptical, but agrees to keep coming. Dr. Martinez schedules 6 more sessions. Meanwhile, my life reshapes itself around boundaries instead of emergencies. I take the promotion I'd previously turned down because it required evening work that conflicted with family obligations. I join a book club, start dating, plan a vacation to Spain. I don't cancel for anyone else's crisis. The Lake Tahoe trip I finally took was perfect. 3 days of mountain air, spa treatments, and silence from family drama. I hiked alone, ate expensive dinners, bought unnecessary souvenirs, and felt zero guilt about spending money on myself. My bank account grows steadily without constant withdrawals for family emergencies. My phone stays quiet without crisis calls. My weekends belong to me without last-minute babysitting requests. In therapy, we establish new rules. No more financial loans in either direction. No more last-minute obligations. No more assumptions about my availability or preferences. And most importantly, I get invited to family events, or I don't attend them. No more finding out after the fact about gatherings I funded, but wasn't included in. The changes feel tentative, fragile, like soap bubbles that could burst with one wrong word, but they're real. 3 months post-therapy, Emma calls with an actual invitation. We're planning a family dinner for Dad's birthday. Would you like to come? No pressure, if you can't, or don't want to. The phrasing is clunky but genuine. An invitation, not an expectation. What time? I ask. 6 o'clock Saturday. And rain? We're ordering pizza. No one expects you to cook or contribute money or help clean up. Just come, if you want to. Saturday evening, I walk into my parents' house, carrying nothing but a birthday card for Dad. The gathering is small, just immediate family, no extended relatives recruited as flying monkeys. The conversation includes me instead of happening around me. When Dad mentions a recent doctor visit, no one looks at me expectantly for financial assistance. It's not perfect. Old patterns surface occasionally, but when I speak, people listen. When I set boundaries, they respect them. When I leave after 2 hours, because I have other plans, no one guilt trips me about abandoning family time. Progress, not perfection. That night, I text Dr. Martinez, "Thank you." Her response arrives within minutes. "You did the hard work. I just provided the space for it." But the real test comes 2 weeks later, when Jake calls. "My car needs new brakes. $800. I was wondering." He stops himself mid-sentence. "Actually, never mind. I'll figure it out." He hangs up before asking for money. Growth. Real, measurable growth. As I settle into my evening routine, I realize this isn't the end of our family revenge story. It's the beginning of a different story entirely. One where I'm not the scapegoat, or the ATM, or the convenient excuse for other people's choices. One where I'm simply Rain. Flawed, complex, worthy of respect and inclusion and love. And for the first time in 26 years, that feels like enough. 6 months later, I'm hosting my first family dinner in my new apartment. Not the cramped studio where I lived when I was funding everyone else's dreams, but a spacious 2-bedroom with a real dining room and windows that face the mountains. Mom arrives carrying homemade vegetarian lasagna, the first meal she's ever cooked specifically for my dietary preferences. Dad brings flowers and compliments my apartment's decor without mentioning how I could afford it now. Emma helps set the table without being asked. Jake offers to wash dishes afterward. The conversation flows naturally, including me instead of happening around me. When Dad mentions retirement planning, no one assumes I'll be their financial safety net. When Emma discusses vacation plans, she asks if I'd like to join, rather than assuming I wouldn't want to come. It's not the family I was born into, but it's becoming the family we're choosing to be. After they leave, I find Mom's thank you text. "Dinner was lovely. Thank you for giving us another chance." Another chance. Not a first chance or a deserved chance, but an acknowledgement that chances must be earned through changed behavior, not just requested through tears and manipulation. The following week brings an unexpected development. Jake starts therapy individually. Not because anyone forced him, but because watching our family transform made him want to understand his own patterns. I realized I was becoming like them. He admits during coffee, expecting people to give me things without giving back, using guilt instead of taking responsibility. Growth continues in small, measurable ways. Emma stops using her children as emotional weapons, no longer coaching them to deliver messages designed to manipulate me into compliance. Dad apologizes for specific incidents rather than offering vague regrets about misunderstandings. Mom learns to invite rather than assume, to ask rather than demand, to accept no without launching guilt campaigns. None of this happened overnight. Family revenge stories don't resolve with single conversations or dramatic revelations. They heal through consistent choices, repeated daily, by people who decide growth matters more than comfort. The jewelry-making kit sits opened on my kitchen table now, turquoise beads scattered beside silver wire. I'm learning to create something beautiful from materials that once represented deprivation. The necklace I'm making isn't perfect, but it's entirely mine. Sometimes healing looks like revenge to people who benefited from your wounds. But choosing yourself isn't revenge, it's reclamation, recovery, self-respect, the radical act of believing you deserve better treatment than you've been accepting. My story could have ended with permanent estrangement, with family drama that lasted years, with relationships destroyed beyond repair. Instead, it's becoming something different, a testament to the possibility of change when people choose growth over comfort, accountability over defensiveness, love over control. Tonight, as I string beads by lamplight, I think about other people watching this story, recognizing their own patterns, wondering if their families could change too. The answer is maybe. Maybe they will choose growth, maybe they will choose you. But here's what I know for certain. You can choose yourself. You can set boundaries, you can protect your resources, emotional and financial. You can build chosen family, alongside or instead of birth family. You deserve inclusion, not just obligation. Respect, not just compliance. Love that shows up consistently, not just when it needs something from you. And sometimes the greatest act of love is refusing to accept less than you deserve. The turquoise bead catches the light as I hold it up, beautiful and whole, and entirely mine, just like the life I've built around it.